محمد نبينا بنور هدينا. In an effort to widen the scope of its reforms, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with Jaiz Bank. The MOU makes Jaiz Bank the official banker of NAHCON for the collection of fees for Hadaya on animal sacrifice. Speaking shortly after the ceremony, NAHCON Commissioner of Policy, Planning, Management and Finance, Alhaji Yusuf Adebayo, who represented the Commission, expressed the hope that the bank will discharge this responsibility with commitment. In his remarks, Managing Director of Jaiz Bank, Alhaji Hassan Usman, appreciated NAHCON for the confidence reposed on the bank, assuring them that the bank is ready to carry out the assignment as agreed in the MOU. In the meantime, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria is ready to unveil its platform for the commencement of e-registration of pilgrims across the country. NAHCON Director of ICT, Dr. Ashiru Daura, stated this in an interview, pointing out that the idea is to help the Commission have accurate database on pilgrims.
Inshallah, we're deep into the preparation. It's our hope, inshallah, during Ramadan, we'll start the online registration. And you can use that to allocate accommodation. Now we allocate accommodation manually. Say, so and so pilgrim from this state. You go to the state, it is when you go, then you start allocating rooms. But with an e-registration, you can allocate flights on the system. You can allocate accommodation, transportation. All activities can be managed, and the finance also, the programs.
Dr. Ashiru says adopting IT in Hajj management will support NAHCON effort in curtailing the activities of fraudsters, as well as enhance service delivery to pilgrims. He called on pilgrims to ensure that they get their national identification number, which forms part of the e-registration.
That will be essential, that will be mandatory in the registration, is the national identification number. You know, every Nigerian is supposed to get a national identification number, NIN. So we want to use it because attached to that NIN is an accurate information about who that person is. It's unique. Each person will have a unique number, and with it you can trace that person and know exactly who he is. So we will require that from each pilgrim.
The Adamawa State Muslim Welfare Board has commended National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, for introducing many reforms in Hajj operations. The Executive Secretary of the board, Malam Abdurrahman Boboyi, gave the commendation while answering questions from journalists in Abuja. He said the innovations introduced by NAHCON Chairman Barrister Abdullahi Mukhtar had brought sanity into the management of Hajj and Umrah services in Nigeria. Malam Boboyi expressed his happiness that due to the reforms, Nigeria emerges one of the best 3 countries during the 2016 Hajj exercise in Saudi Arabia. He then disclosed the readiness of Adamawa State Pilgrims Board to implement the reforms with a view to ensuring hitch-free 2017 Hajj. NAHCON at a recent time has come up with new policies, among which are licensing of state boards and private agencies, electronic registration of pilgrims, accommodation contracts, and national medical team. Kogi State Muslim Pilgrims Board has cautioned intending pilgrims from the state to stay clear of items prohibited by Nigeria and Saudi authorities during the Hajj exercise. Executive Chairman of the board, Sheikh Lukman Abdullahi, made the plea while monitoring the ongoing sensitization program for the intending pilgrims in Okene. He said that items such as cocaine, Indian hemp and kola nuts, among others, have been declared contraband by Saudi government and that anybody caught will face the wrath of the law. Sheikh Lukman disclosed that NAHCON has allocated over 800 seats to intending pilgrims from Kogi State for the 2017 Hajj.
For the first time, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria introduced a national medical team. This was in 2016, and the concept is in line with the rules and regulations set by Saudi Arabia. The idea was also meant to bring some sanity and efficiency into the healthcare services for Nigerian pilgrims while in Saudi Arabia. Chairman of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, Barrister Abdullahi Mukhtar, explains more on this.
Why do we insist it must be a national? Because even the Saudi government clearly mentioned and warned that they will no longer accept seeing proliferation of so-called clinics in various pilgrims accommodation of Nigerians. You go to a particular state, you will see clear sticker, so state hospital, not even a clinic. So state clinic. And they take pictures. We go to meeting with the authorities there, they sometimes confront us with some of these details. In your country, is it how you register clinic or hospital? You just go get sticker and then put, this is a hospital, you designate place to be a hospital. Is it what you do in your country? Is that how we register clinics and hospitals in Nigeria?
The Saudi government has put in place surveillance and response system to monitor clinics operating during the Hajj.
The clinics and hospitals to be used for Hajj by any country has to be licensed by the Saudi Ministry of Health. And they are ready, willing to cooperate with us to license as many as we want, provided it will come, the request will come from the federal government of Nigeria. That's why we communicate to the states that since the Saudis have won, they are the host authority. We have no option but to comply with their rules and regulations. No states of the Federation of Nigeria should tag, mark, designate any point as hospital, clinic, or even first aid center.
Coupled with this was the challenge of having uncoordinated and blotted medical personnel from the states.
Previously, we were operating 37+1 medical teams. What it means is that the federal government goes to the federal medical team and each state or the federation goes its own medical team. That is not economical, that is not cost effective, and that's tantamount to actually waste of human resource as well as waste of the economy of our country. Now, look at it from this perspective. Each state goes with a team of medical team, doctors, nurses, pharmacists. At the federal medical team, we equally go with doctors, nurses, and pharmacists. By the time you put together the entire 37+1, if not 38+1, you'll be having over 2,000 to 3,000 medical teams, which is even more than the state pilgrims in some states of the federation. That's not acceptable in this era that we're operating in Nigeria. If we're talking about providing best services, it must be cost effective.
Hajj being an exercise that brings together people of diverse backgrounds across the world, the Saudi government, in collaboration with global health organizations, set out specific health guidelines for all countries.
Iran, large number of pilgrims, same. Indonesia, same. Malaysia, same. India, same. Only Nigeria. Therefore, it is now that we have removed the curtains from our eyes, that we have now brought ourselves into the Committee of Nations to do the right thing. And alhamdulillah, we're getting it right this time around.
Apart from complying with Saudi regulations, NAHCON's rationale for the national medical team is to have improved coordination and harmonization of all Hajj medical services for the benefit of pilgrims, visions of moving towards what is considered global best practices, a resilient, cost-effective and responsive medical team that is able to meet the health needs of all pilgrims from Nigeria. The new policy was first put to practice during the 2016 Hajj. The implementation of the policy required all stakeholders coming together to make the idea succeed, and this was roundly commended, especially by the Saudi government.
The Saudis became very happy with us. They have extended hands of friendship to us as a country. They want us to work together now. They want us to embark on research together because we now have one national team. Nigeria is such an important country in the Committee of Nations when it comes to Hajj. And coming from the tropical country, Nigeria represents the entire black world. So if you are conducting any research regarding medical as in relation to Hajj, if you pick samples from Nigeria, it represents the entire black nations across the world. That is one of the partnerships that we are now doing with the Saudi Arabian government. That's a success as far as the national medical team is concerned.
Towards improving on these, NAHCON took some measures, among which is to hear the views of stakeholders about the concept.
Our target is forget about whatever you say, even if you are going to criticize us. What we want is constructive criticism. I don't take criticism as anything personal or as an insult, but as a wake-up call for you to do the right thing. So if you have anything you believe we need to know on how to improve the medical services, please feel free to let us know.
Besides, NAHCON also constituted an interagency committee to review the performance of the 2016 National Medical Team, discuss and address all observed challenges, concerns and misconceptions that emanated from the 2016 operations, agree on modalities for a joint conduct of the 2017 operations and beyond, and draw up a working timeline. With 2017 Hajj at hand, the Commission, in one of its meetings with zonal coordinators, agreed to purchase new ambulances to be used at departure points nationwide.
We should be able to have stretchers, both the auto and the manual stretcher. In case somebody arrives, he can lie down and they can push, and the one that they can just quickly put him down and lift. So at least we should have also tutu in all the departure centers. And I'm sure there is nothing wrong if we work towards even procuring ambulance. Right? In all the departure centers. And we charge the Hajj development levy. We procure the ambulance. We have ambulances standby in all the departure centers. They use the ambulance for the outbound and they use it for the inbound.
These reforms being introduced by NAHCON also affect the mode of drug procurement. The Commission now has concluded plans to procure over 80% of drugs from Nigeria, unlike in the past when the drugs were purchased in Saudi Arabia.
This year, we are buying 80% of our drugs in Nigeria, and we are giving priority, high priority, to made in Nigerian pharmaceutical products. We have discussed with the Saudis and they have agreed. We shall ship our drugs long before Hajj into the kingdom. Of course, there are some drugs that require refrigeration and certain temperature and certain preservative processes. Those ones we can't afford to buy them here until we get to the kingdom of Saudi Arabia for us to buy.
As the medical service is being reformed, with the medical team particularly in focus, it is the consensus of Hajj officials that states will provide 60% of members of the national medical team, while NAHCON gives the remaining 40%. On Hajj Talk tonight, we focus on the things an intending pilgrim is expected to do before setting out to perform the Hajj. Our guide is Sheikh Tajuddin Adigun of Wuse 3 Central Mosque, Abuja. He begins by providing insight on the concept of Hajj as a pillar of Islam.
Hajj is a pillar among the 5 pillars of Islam. which means no Muslim can escape Hajj as a pillar, except those who don't have the means. And Hajj is an act of worship that exists only in Mecca. All other 4 pillars of Islam can be performed and executed successfully in any part of the world except Hajj. Fasting can be done anywhere in the world. Zakat is even preferred to be collected and given at that spot. Salat, you do it everywhere. Kalimatu Shahada, you take it anywhere in the globe. But Hajj is so special among the 5 pillars that you have no place to perform it except in Mecca and its environment.
Therefore, for persons planning to perform the Hajj, Islam has laid out the conditions to be met.
The condition number 1, he must be a Muslim. Also, he must be matured. Of course, an immature Muslim can go, like a child of 10, 5, 2 even at the back of his mother can go on Hajj. But he did not perform the real pillar of Hajj. So that's why scholars used to say a matured Muslim. Number 1 Muslim, and that Muslim must be matured. Also, a Muslim that is intellectually balanced. A mad person should not go and Hajj. Of course, on his way he may be beating others. He may go and cause actually act of atrocities and misbehavior. So it must be a sound person, somebody actually who is sensing. Also, Hajj must be performed by somebody who is healthy. Somebody who is sick, disqualified by doctors not to perform Hajj, should not go on Hajj. And also, he must have the means materially. It's a condition. When you don't have the means, then it is not compulsory on you.
Of these conditions, there are those that are peculiar to women.
For a woman, with all the conditions fulfilled, there must be a mahram, which may be either her husband, which is more preferred if she's married. If she's not a matured, then her father, her senior brother, her consanguine brother, that's her brother, or full brother, Jamaican brother. All these are her brothers that can actually take charge and be her mahram. Her uncle can be her mahram. Her maternal and paternal uncle can be her mahram. Her grandfather, if healthy, can be her mahram. So this actually makes it peculiar to a woman.
Having met these conditions, intending pilgrims are also expected to prepare themselves spiritually and intellectually so as to earn the reward of Hajj.
You must prepare spiritually because you want to earn reward. Al-Hajj al-Mabrur laysa lahu al-jaza illa al-Jannah. A successful Hajj that is called Mabrur has no reward except the Al-Jannah, the paradise. So you must prepare spiritually so as to earn this. Number 1 in your preparation, make sure your iman is firm and your consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is high and you want it higher. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned it also in the Quran. That وَتَزَوَّدُوا فَإِنَّ خَيْرَ الزَّادِ التَّقْوَى وَاتَّقُونِ يَا أُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. You must prepare spiritually so as to gain what is called taqwa, that is God consciousness, doing the do's and running away from the don'ts. This is exactly the summary of the meaning of taqwa.
In addition, Sheikh Tajuddin Muhammad stresses that seeking Allah's forgiveness and reconciliation with one another are also part of the spiritual preparations.
You must repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of all your evil deeds and promise that you will never go back to it. This is a resolution you must take if you want to embark on a successful Hajj. These are all spiritual. Also, make sure you reconcile with others. Now you have reconciled with Allah by Tawbah. Any human being, whether Muslim, whether non-Muslim, that you know you have cheated, you have to reconcile by seeking for his forgiveness. And this is a spiritual preparation. If you have also disagreement between you and ABC, right from the family to outside the family, you reconcile. That is what is called sulhu.
Talking about the material aspect of the preparations, Sheikh Tajuddin says intending pilgrims must make sure they settle debts and also do not leave their families short of money, among other things.
If there is debt, ad-dainu Ad-dainu musiwa. If you have debt, it's a calamity. Settle that debt before you go. So make sure the money you are going to use is from a pure source, not from robbery, either pen robbery or gun robbery or whatsoever type of robbery we know. It should be from halal source, your own sweat. Number 2, financial preparation. You must make sure that your family extended are actually recognized and taken care of. Extended family by this, if you have parents who are poor and you are the supporting them, you must make sure you have enough to support them before leaving. Your immediate family, your wife, your children, including school fees.
One important issue that is always emphasized when talking about Hajj relates to sponsorship of pilgrims, why the sponsors do not take care of other needs of the people they are sponsoring for Hajj.
To those who are sponsoring Hajj, please don't sponsor a poor person that you cannot take care of his immediate need in absentia. It's better you give him the money of Hajj. Let him do Hajj with the money. Your reward is bigger than him going to Hajj. Because his going to Hajj is a maslaha khasa. While giving him the money to take care of himself and his extended and immediate family is a maslaha amma, and you have more reward because your money will go into benefit of others.
Considering the fact that Hajj rites are wide, Sheikh Tajuddin advises those who are educating intending pilgrims to focus more on the 4 obligatory parts of Hajj, which are ihram or intention, staying at Arafat, tawaf, and work between Safa and Marwa.
What I will advise instructors to focus on, they should focus only on the 4 pillars. Only on the 4 pillars. Because other things can be managed. If a pilgrim misses any of the 4, he has missed his Hajj. If a pilgrim is successful to perform these 4 things, all other things can be managed.
I don't know what the Commission is doing this year to prevent.
How often has the National Hajj Commission embarked?
How can they make it more comfortable? At the national level, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria,
there are 6 days in which the Hajj rites are performed.
So we have put in place mechanism to ensure that on each flight, at least we should have, as much as possible, the medical personnel to accompany the pilgrims and children.
From 2007, gone. This problem is gone.
And what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said is this Hajj is compulsory at least once in a lifetime.
Our first message comes from Hassan Ibrahim with a GSM number 0706 940 5419. What are the new plans being adopted by NAHCON for pilgrims' education and orientation?
Very soon we are working on how to reach out to the pilgrims through their phone, through their handsets, so that at every level there will be alert to them on a message that this is what is going to happen, this is what we are expected to do, this is how we are going to do, and so on and so forth. So we are not leaving any chance, any opportunity we have to educate the pilgrims. We try to grasp, we try to go to it.
Mariam Yaro with GSM number 0806 739 5864 sends in a second message which reads, what is NAHCON doing to ensure effective service delivery from its staff?
The chairman felt that how are we going to have a capacity building for our staff? He initiated a weekly presentation of paper to be organized by the admin department, which is my department. And then today is the 4th series of the paper presentation we are doing. You are a living witness. We were there when the commissioner in charge of policy, personnel management and finance did present his paper on quality management and service delivery, a well-researched paper. So honestly, we are on course, and I wouldn't say, apart from training organization that has to do with NAHCON, CMD and others, there is no best training other than this one initiated by the chairman.
إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا